And welcome to another episode of the Football Smack Talk Show. I am your host, Ryan.
I'm Eric.
Welcome, everybody. It's draft week, another wonderful Monday evening of the show here as we get ready. We are mere days away from the NFL draft this weekend, starting on Thursday with the first round, Friday night, rounds 2 and 3, and then, of course, Saturday for 4, 5, 6, and 7. This is a wonderful time of year. It's
Yes.
something we look forward to every year. Put a lot of needless hours into looking into players, watching,
Yeah, we
games.
scout these guys like we somehow have a say on where they're going to
Right,
go.
yeah, exactly. We do all this only to have zero control, as the rest
Yeah.
of us do, as this is all up to Howie and the Philadelphia Eagles staff as to what they are going to do on Thursday. I can't wait. It's exciting. We have 2 picks this year, number 10 and number 30 in the first round. Most experts kind of and most fans probably assume that we're probably not going to be drafting at 10 and at 30.
Right.
Unless we may not even end up with 2 picks in the first round. Again, Howie usually does something to kind of
He
you
does
know
some wheeling and dealing.
make things interesting. Exactly. We already got some comments here coming in. RW Swope coming in from YouTube. Thanks for checking us out, buddy. We appreciate you coming back. Eagles need to focus on guys who can cover and tackle. They focus way too much on pass rush. Yes, nothing wrong with having a pass rush, but you need guys who can cover and tackle against the pass as well. He also follows up and says, as we all see in the Super Bowl, KC stopped the Eagles' pass rush. Partly the
Well,
ground did well.
I think they ass field there in.
Yeah, that didn't help. But anyway, when the pass rush wasn't there, the coverage absolutely got lit up. It shows how bad the pass defensive coverage of the Birds is. I wouldn't necessarily say the pass coverage is bad. Obviously, you have 2 very good corners in Slay and Bradbury, and Maddox for that matter.
Yeah.
And obviously,
Okay,
Gardner
can we all agree that they just can't play on a slip and slide next year and they should be okay?
That certainly would help, as we said.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I agree with Swope there. Yeah, I mean they definitely. I feel like their pass rush is fine. They were finally getting to the quarterback. They were finally getting sacks. They definitely need to kind of
Well, I mean,
up.
they set a record, so I'd say yes, they were pretty good at the pass rush.
So they obviously need to kind of up the game, if you will, so to speak, when it comes to coverage. So I'll agree with you on that one there, buddy. But yeah, so obviously with the 10th pick, it's rare when you get a chance to draft in the top 10. So I personally think Howie's going to take advantage of it. I know a lot of people are kind of just assuming, oh, it's perfect opportunity to trade back, get a couple of picks. We only have, picks, in the first, second, third, nothing in the fourth, nothing in the fifth, nothing in the sixth, and then 2, sevenths, although the one is pretty early in the 7th. But anyway, so a lot of people are just kind of assuming, hey, why not trade back a couple spots, maybe pick up something for next year, maybe pick up an extra 3rd, 4th, 5th, somewhere in the middle of the rounds where you can get some good depth. And don't get me wrong, I definitely think it's a possibility. I just think it's a rare occurrence when you have a top 10 pick. The talent level in the top 10 is certainly, usually pretty good. And usually people hit, not all the time, obviously, but
well, sure, but like
advantage when you're in the situation. So I think it's personally, I think it's more likely that Howie moves up or stays, so that he could take advantage of his situation and get an impactful player for now and the future.
I would agree that it's important to get somebody of impact at 10 or earlier. Um, we talked about it, Ryan Finneran and I, yesterday on our roundtable at the Italian American Club. And thank you to anybody who watched and has,
Yes.
either live or on any kind of replay. I appreciate
We appreciate
everybody
that
who
always.
watched that. But look, I feel like all options are kind of on the table. I know in my mock draft, I had the Eagles trading back.
Yeah.
Um, and it was one of those things where I just thought the way the board was falling, that, with a guy like Anthony Richardson, who I looked at and said, this guy belongs in the top 10. Like, when I had Indianapolis take Will Levis at 4, which I know we're going to get into all of our mocks and we're going to do our own mock draft here. Um, that reasoning was more of just what I've been hearing about everything that Indianapolis, just for whatever reason, is in love with Will Levis, and maybe it's a smokescreen.
I was going to say you always got to take everything with a grain of
Sure,
salt. People
absolutely.
are putting misinformation out there, whether the saying things quoted, being quoted themselves or saying it through the media.
Yeah.
So yeah, I always take kind of a grain of salt, and I know obviously we know kind of how he drafts,
Hmm.
historically. In fact, I'll bring up this comment by Swope. His last comment, how he doesn't value linebackers. And I know you weren't just talking about secondary when it comes to coverage. Obviously, linebacker coverage is very important, and sometimes even edge. You don't always have to rush the edge theoretically. But yeah, no, your point is well taken there. But yeah, Howie loves the trenches, and we know that. And Howie doesn't draft
Yeah.
first round linebackers. Howie doesn't draft first downs or first round safeties or
But how
running
many
backs.
years are we going to have to sit here and say to everybody, hey, look, the Eagles haven't drafted a linebacker,
Blah blah
a
blah since
traditional linebacker, in the
1979.
first round in our lifetime?
Yeah, exactly.
And
And
we are old men now.
we certainly are. It's been over 40 years since they've done that.
Yeah.
So in fact, it's funny. I was just talking to our mutual buddy Rob, um, senior. Um, it's coming up on the 20th anniversary of the Kevin Millwood no hitter. Um,
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Me, Rob, and Steve were at um, my one and only no hitter that I obviously saw. Um,
Hmm.
yeah, 20 years. He's going to be throwing out the ceremonial first pitch coming soon. So, ugh, makes me feel old. Anyway, um, Steve Roth, are you all looking for any more? Always, always, buddy.
Absolutely. Yeah.
In fact, I did see that you messaged out. I will actually absolutely be getting reaching out to you. So we could talk, and yeah, we're always looking to add shows, add talent, add people who just want to contribute. However, so yeah, don't ever hesitate. Anyone out there, even if you've never done anything like this, you don't think you'd be good at it. Yeah, we can always talk and figure stuff out. You guys are looking. I would love to come on now too. Yeah, shit, come.
Absolutely. Hell yeah. Come on down.
Dude, your comments are great. We've had your comments on a bunch of our shows, so yeah, we know how you think. So yeah, absolutely, reach out. Always reach out.
Yeah. When in
Easy,
doubt, always reach out.
yeah, easiest way is through Facebook.
Yeah.
Uh, Probably directly to me, but you can reach out through the page. You'll probably get one of those automatic, "Hey, thanks for reaching out," and I'll eventually see it. Although Facebook doesn't always give me the notifications right away. But yes, so Steve and RW, absolutely, I will definitely talk to you guys for sure. Yeah, you kidding me? We love adding to the family
Yeah.
and helping
Absolutely.
people
Yeah.
and helping people kind
Welcome
of
aboard.
yeah
Yeah.
and helping people get into this, and it's a lot of fun, man. So and again, you take it seriously. You just want to do it
Well, I
casually.
mean, and that's how we got started. Like, we just enjoyed talking sports, the two of us,
Uh,
and and
I
said,
mean,
"Hey, can we find a way to do this and get it out to other people?"
yeah, we just passed our what 14th year anniversary of
Jeez.
doing a podcast. We basically, I think it was not to get off topic, obviously, but I think
2009, right?
yeah, March of '09.
Yeah.
There was like a period where we were, and it was probably off season talk, but we were literally like every day just we would just talk on the phone and talk about the off season and blah blah blah
Yeah.
blah blah. And something I don't know what made me think of it. I was like, dude, we
Well,
should.
I know that a mutual friend of ours, their mom was doing some political show on Blog Talk Radio.
Yeah, that's how we.
And I had heard about this, and I thought, I'm like, wait, is that just a political talk show thing? Like, I thought it was maybe a site that just did politics. And she was like, no, like, you can do anything. And I remember I called you and was just like, dude, this is what we got to do. Like,
Yeah, let's look into it.
yeah,
I'm from the Philadelphia area, so I know the Philadelphia sports.
hell
So
yeah.
absolutely, brother. Yeah, like I said, I definitely got your. I believe that was your message, right? Um, Hold on. Now I gotta double check.
Yeah, now we got to check to make sure. Yeah.
Sure that yes, that was you. Okay, yes, I did see it, and I will absolutely reach out. We'll talk. We'll figure some things out and whatever. But yeah, long story short, yeah, we use this service called Blog Talk Radio. We both called in from our phones, and it did
I
it.
remember
Whatever hell the
the first couple
technology.
shows I came over to your place.
Right,
And
stupidly, I guess.
yeah.
Because we
And
didn't really need
well,
you.
we called into you called in on your landline, and this was back in the day when a lot of times you could have some really bad coverage in cell phones. And I
Yeah,
mean,
wow,
you
true.
still can, but
Especially
like,
you.
oh yeah, definitely me. But
You
your
were-
apartment in particular at the time
Yeah,
was
yeah,
god awful with
it was yeah,
reception.
for you. Yeah. So yeah,
It
we
was,
called into this number.
yeah,
We just went back and forth, and we could have callers. Like,
yeah,
it was before anybody was really doing podcasts. Honestly, I think you look at some of the bigger names in the Philadelphia sport um, podcast scene, and we were doing shows well before any of them, but
yeah.
obviously we didn't know what we were doing. Hell, we still don't know what we're doing, but but still, yeah, it was so much fun, and just we were like, we were doing this anyway. Let's just do it and have our friends call in and bust our balls and
Yeah,
and
it's essentially what happened. I know the old man called
wait,
in several times.
what's the Facebook page? Oh no, what's the Facebook? No, it's literally Philly Sports Alliance. So you can reach out. Yes, we are associated with Edge of Philly Sports as we stream on their YouTube, which is, I'm sure, where you are finding this, formerly of the Painted Lines. But yeah, Philly Sports Alliance, just search that Facebook page. You can shoot us a quick message on that, or you can literally just search me, um, look for the mug, and send me a friend request. Say, hey, it's RW Swoop. I'll know you are. Or Twitter at Philly Sports PSA. I'll definitely get those because I actually have notifications turned on properly for that.
There you
Uh, so,
go.
which is weird. I think it's a Facebook thing because I think you're signed in as yourself, but then
Right.
like when something happens on a page, it gives you a notification, but only if you then switch over to the page under the page.
Right. I know sometimes like I'll get one notification that'll somehow sneak through and show up on my personal page. And then it'll be like it'll take me to the link to go to look to all the other pages that I'm associated with. And that's when I'll see, oh, you've got like 40 messages or 40, things from each of these other pages that you're associated with. And I'm like, oh, geez, I got to go look at all this stuff now.
Steve, yes, I gotcha. Yeah, see, I just got the notification. You just sent me a message on the Twitter. So yeah, that actually might be the best way, honestly. Now moving forward, just
Yeah,
send me
just tell everybody to tweet with
DM me
you.
on Twitter at up there in the corner there, or not in the corner, but Philly Sports PSA. But yeah, yeah, we're you kidding me? We love having people doing, whether you want to do your own shows, you want to pop into one of our shows, you want to, whatever. It's all a conversation, and we all just love having people, do their thing. So, anyway, let's get back to a little bit to the draft. So we wanted to do a mock draft, uh,
Hmm.
one where, so basically, I think probably the easiest way is we'll do like a quick 4 round mock. I'll do one. We'll run through it, talk about it, and then we'll set it up again. We'll have Eric do one for him. That way, we're not like flipping back and forth between different pages and different tabs and this, that, and the other. We could just kind of do 2 quick ones in a row, talk about it. And yeah, yeah. No. Yeah, I mean, you're fine to do it now. Either way, but all right. So let's bring up this. I wonder if this is gonna work. I'm gonna have to take off this. There we go. All right. So got the tab open here. Let's do a quick a mock draft. I'll set this up 4 rounds. We'll do it kind of slow so we can kind of see what's going on. And we'll start the clock and listen. If trades come up, maybe if
Yeah, we
people
can
are,
talk about them. Yeah.
we'll talk about them. So I'll start. I'll do my 4 rounds real quick. Um, Bryce Young, C.J. Stroud, Jalen Carter 3, Anthony Richardson, Will Anderson, Skoronski, Levis, Witherspoon, and Christian Gonzalez. So, okay. So if this is the way that the first
Hmm.
round goes, I would do cartwheels down the aisle to hand in my ticket. As I think, as you can see, the top player that's on the board there is certainly somebody who I would love to add to the Philadelphia Eagles. I don't think he's going to make it out in this scenario, in the normal scenario. Let me just see who might want to trade. 18 Lions? No, that's too far down. And especially with somebody like Wilson sitting there on the board, potentially if, say, just I know they really no, they might, but say if Chicago were to take Tyree Wilson instead of Christian Gonzalez, I
Right.
would then look to potentially move back. 18's a little far, but I would consider, assuming that I could probably pick up a decent selection for next year, get a couple of extra picks this year, win-win, and then kind
Yeah.
of take a little more time, see how the draft board falls, and still pick up an impactful player. But not this time. I'm taking Tyree Wilson.
Yeah.
That would be a for sure um, run up to the draft board. And you know what I love about this is and I'll go back in a second here once this kind of stops and do a quick recap of the first so everybody can kind of see where we're at. Um, there we go. Let's go back up. If I can do this, why is this not letting me? Come on. Come on. There we go. You notice that they already have the Aaron Rodgers trade
I was
uh,
gonna ask. Yeah.
reflected, and of course in stupid fashion, they have Bijan. Like I feel like Bijan's one of those players in these type of mocks that some like randomly sometimes go to teams that you're like, there's no way they would draft like Jacksonville. Like, no, they're not drafting a running back. The Jets are not drafting another running back. Like they have Brees Hall, who they drafted last year. He got a little hurt, obviously, but they're not drafting Bijan Robinson. That I will put my house on. Um,
Yeah. The Jets aren't. The Jags aren't.
yeah, I mean, listen, I understand why like Minnesota or the Chargers, because there's been a lot of rumors about maybe them moving on from Dalvin Cook and Austin Eckler,
Yeah. Yeah.
respectively. That makes sense. Um, but yeah, some of these ones are pretty funny. But anyway, so after us, Jackson Smith and Jigba goes to Tennessee as they double down 2 years in a row in wide receivers. Then a couple
If
of
only they had a receiver that they could have kept in house. So yeah.
if only two tackles go off. Then Lucas Van Ness, which seems like a Patriot pick.
Yeah.
Joey Porter to Washington. Another corner, Deontay Banks to Pittsburgh. So they just missed out on the reunion there. Pittsburgh with Joey Porter.
Which I
Uh,
know yesterday I had Porter going to Pittsburgh. Yeah.
then to edge, Nolan Smith and Miles Murphy, who again I would certainly love
Sure.
to get one of them.
But you
Uh,
got Tyree Wilson, so you don't necessarily need to at 30. I mean, hey, look, you can always double down. I mean,
but Jordan Addison goes to Minnesota. That if he pans out, that'd be a nice one too. With Jefferson, Branch goes to Jacksonville, Kincaid, and Quentin Johnson going to New York and to Dallas, respectfully. Buffalo going Osiris Torrance is pretty good. Bengals getting another tackle, adding to that line, and the Saints going tight end with Michael Mayer, who personally I would have loved if he had fallen, for sure. So I'm at 30. Of course, the top of the best players available, according to this, are all, for the most part, defensive line, um, which is, again, getting somebody like Tyree Wilson. It kind of alleviates the need to double down on that, even though say had like a Kalijah Cansey made it, I would have considered that. And again, Brian Brissy is certainly somebody I would consider here as well. I just think the need is a lot less. Um, but I'm going to first take a look at trade. Oh, you want to bop back 2 spots? Hell to the yeah. I'll do that. And
what else are we getting? I can't really see the.
yeah, no, I figured as much.
Yeah.
Yeah, so right now I have Pittsburgh trying to jump from 32 to 30. I was trying to get their pick 80. There's a 7% chance this will be accepted, so I can only assume this won't go through. Yep. But I feel like if I take 120, I'm going to need to maybe take probably a fourth and maybe a fifth. I still feel like maybe I can grab another fifth here. Load up on some picks for the next year or two, and
Mhm.
still get something a little bit later for 2 picks, basically. So that got accepted. So we bopped back from 30 to 32.
Which
Looks like
now we're kicking off the draft night too on Friday night.
exactly. So we'll see if anything else. Here's 30. See, that's kind of where I really wanted to be, is around that 38 range. I was hoping to do that. So maybe, yeah, they're not going to do that. So basically, we're kind of in a. And maybe if I can now, maybe I can get. Maybe actually, you know what? Let me take that off and take 109. So I would trade back with Las Vegas from 32 to 38, pick up 109 for this year, and round 3 for next year. They did not accept that. Boo. I guess maybe I'll get actually. I will get a 4 and a 5 and a 5 again. And actually, I'll move up this pick to 100. No, geez, what is going on here? Hold on, it's over a 54% chance. Okay, there we go. So I moved back from 32 to 38, picked up 109 this year, picked up a 5th next year, and a 4th and a 5th the following year. I like that. They took Brian Brissy, Will McDonald, Schmitz, Cam Smith, Kylie Ringo, Darnell Washington. Ding it, ding it, ding it. That is who I
You're
would have.
trying to get cute, and
Yeah, F around and find out, as they say, right?
yeah,
Oh man, that would have been. I would have loved that. But I think actually what I will do is I will take Dawan Jones, tackle from Ohio State. Again, we all know that that's a position that potentially could be done at pick number 10. And you're
mhm.
looking for your Lane Johnson heir apparent. So I think that's a nice, easy selection for me is to take Dawan Jones and do that. Let me catch up on a few comments here. I love weed. What up? What up, guys? Long time go Cowboys. Yeah, we know. Quentin Moore, running back at 10 or get the fuck out. Oh, that's funny. It works. Nolan Smith. Dave George wants Nolan Smith. I would love that. In our mock draft that we are just doing, Tyree Wilson was technically available at 10. So that
Yeah,
was
that's why I would.
that
Yeah.
was an easy one to select. I certainly, I feel like, there's three defensive linemen in the top 10 that are no brainers. Obviously, Will Anderson, Jalen Carter, and Tyree Wilson.
Yeah, any one of those three, if either one of them fall to
Right. If
you 10,
one
you
of
hit.
them were to fall, especially like Will Anderson, if he was able to fall to like even 7 or 8, I would trade up and grab him.
Yeah. Now, what do you think about like a Jalen Carter if he were to slip to like say 7? Would you be looking
Yeah,
to
oh
trade?
yeah, I would
Yeah.
definitely need to look into what it would take. So,
Hmm.
so you're saying you want more pass rush? You agreed with me. Now you're contradicting. Well, it's not that I'm not contradicting. I'm just going with what we all know how he's going to do. There's no linebackers to even think of at 10. There are certainly some in the 30 range for sure. Um, I don't think they're going to go corner because, again, they just kind of, brought back their guys. I think, to essentially draft a corner, even if you were to draft Gonzalez or Porter or, um, what am I blanking on?
Witherspoon.
Witherspoon, thank you.
Yeah.
They're coming in and at best is going to be your third best corner if they're going to beat out um,
Yeah.
Avante
Yeah.
Matt.
Yeah.
So even with that, so say they do, you would have four corners that are really, really good. You're not going to be playing dime every down. And I just feel like, yes, eventually you're going to need to replace Slay and Bradbury. But I think the cornerback class is very deep. I think there's a lot of great players that could be had later on in the draft. And yeah, I just think the smart play is most likely going D line or O line. It's the bread and butter of Howie. It's the bread and butter of the Eagles for the longest time, and I just think it's the most likely scenario. It's not necessarily what I would do. I personally, my goal is Jalen Carter. I'll just throw that
Hmm.
out.
Hmm.
I think most likely he goes at 5 to Seattle, but I think if he starts to slip a couple picks, I would want to go up and grab him. I just think having him with Jordan Davis, one
Oh my
year,
God,
probably
incredible.
one final year of Fletcher Cox kind of imparting his knowledge.
Hmm.
Uh, you have your middle of your defensive line set for the next X amount of years. So, but yes, yeah, I kind of did contradict myself. Dell at 62. Yeah, that's certainly somebody I got to consider. Let me just double check here. Julius Brents. If he would have fallen to me at 62, that would have had to have been the pick. 62 to 66. I don't know if I necessarily need to make any more trade backs. Okay, so as much as yes, Dell would be a great pick, and considering we're not trading for Derrick Henry, we're not drafting, Bijan Robinson. I still have to prefer Zach Charbonnet at 62. He has been growing on me this whole
Yeah.
process. Our good buddy Dives absolutely is like head over heels for this guy. And I can see why. He is a very talented running back. He can do a lot of things. And I think, I just don't think a lot of people are sold on, the running back room that we have here. I mean, yes, we have a
Hmm.
great offensive line. Yes, Rashad Penny is a good back, but he is fragile. And you have Kenny Gainwell, which, sometimes he's all right, sometimes he's not.
You're
Um,
right.
and I just feel like, yeah, Swope agrees. Yeah, Jalen Carter is who I want to. Absolutely. But yeah, Dave, I feel like if Charbonnet's not there, Dell would be a great pick at 62. That'd be one. That'd be, I feel like, pretty good value. There's a couple of wide receivers that are going to be in that end of the second round that I really like. And again, with Quez Watkins kind of, let's just say, having a disappointing season,
Sure.
with signing Zacharias, formerly of Atlanta, and then drafting a rookie. I think, boom, you have three wide receivers there that can all kind of fight it out for the third and fourth spots. And yeah, add some kind of depth. Outside of that, we really don't have much going on other than the Greg Wards of the world. No offense, Eric. Um,
None taken.
yeah. Uh, so yeah, no, I agree. I feel like there's a lot of people that are lower on getting a wide receiver, and I'll even throw in a tight end. I'm very high on getting one, or if not both, kind of, like I said, if you trade back from kind of 30,
You don't like
and
Stroll? Man.
now still can eat a brick. Um, but yeah, like that was basically my plan. It was to trade back to that 37, 38 range and take somebody like a Darnell Washington, who I think is going to be a difference maker. It's
Hmm.
around the same time frame of kind of when we did the drafting of Ertz, when we had Selleck, and when we drafted Goddard, when we
I
had
was gonna
Ertz.
say, isn't it about the same
It
like
is pretty
age?
much exactly the
Yeah.
same time frame. And don't get me wrong, I love a lot of these tight ends, and I think
Sure.
tight end two is certainly being not as appreciated, I guess, by the Philadelphia Eagle fandom. But I think again they love doing their 12 personnel, two tight ends, and you're essentially adding another weapon. And again, I think we're the talk has been overtaken by Derrick Henry and Bijan Robinson, and what a
Hmm.
an offensive weapon that would be. And man, you know, how are you going to stop this offense? Well, guess what? I think if you add a Darnell Washington, or get a solid number two, whether
Yeah.
somebody falls to them at 30 and you pull the trigger, or you get somebody in the second round like a Dell, or a Hyatt, or somebody later on like a Jalen Reed. um, you're going to add a value and another offensive weapon there. Um, but I think even more impactful than, say, a Dell in round two, I think
Mhm.
is a Darnell Washington in round two, or early in round two, or even at 30, whether it is Washington or maybe Mayer or Kincaid kind of fall to you. Um, I think that would be even more impactful, personally. Um, you know, just knowing how the Eagles' offense kind of runs. So, yeah, I don't know. That's kind of what I would love to do, is add either or. Tight end is probably my preference over wide receiver, because again, I think Quez, had a down year, and we shouldn't just cast him off. But we got Zacharias, who can kind of come
Yeah.
in and push him. Um, let's be honest. I don't think anybody thought. Bless you.
Yeah.
Bless you.
Yeah.
I don't
Thank
think
you.
anybody thought Quez. Remember when it was Quez Watkins and John Hightower, and nobody knew who was better, and one of them we hoped would step up, and
Right.
Quez kind of just almost by default did. we still weren't expecting a lot of from him. So, all right, let me catch back up on some comments here. Love it, guys. Keep them coming. I do think Bijan will help stop Jalen from having to run as much. I do as well.
I
Uh,
agree.
as Bijan is an all-around dual back who can do everything. He can do so many things and help relieve Jalen from taking huge hits. Yeah, I again, when you bring up this Jalen or Derrick Henry rumor, if you will, whether you want to give it validity or not, you can't say that the Eagles certainly aren't always going to be looking around to add talent to this team.
Sure.
But you have somebody who's going to be 29 who routinely has 300, 350 plus, touches every year. Dude's going to fall off a cliff eventually. It happens to the best running
All
back.
I keep like, and I said it yesterday on the roundtable with Finneran. It reminds me so much of DeMarco Murray.
Well, I think that's certainly in a lot of people's minds.
Mhm.
Certainly, Henry is coming from a lot higher than Marco. Obviously, Marco really just had the one good year, but still, regardless, yes, I think that's certainly got to be a concern. Or would you rather have an unknown technically, but you have control for this player, for, very nice control cap wise for 5 years.
And you
Uh,
have 5 years of him having not taken all the blows of the NFL.
And listen, he hasn't taken over 300 touches in a
Nope.
season in college. In fact, he barely, I think, his last year barely got over 250. Not that that's like not a lot, but
Well, they
still.
have another running back there in Texas who was huge too.
Right. So, again, I think the shelf life of a running back is small.
Sure.
You run them in the ground for 5 years and find somebody else.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like you could get like Derrick Henry's on the back end of that, that stretch.
Sure
Where
is. And
Bijan is on the
while
end of that.
Yeah, like while he certainly makes a lot of money per year, I think his cap hit this year would be like 6.3 for Derrick Henry, which isn't bad at all.
No,
Um, certainly, I think Miles
but
Sanders as well.
essentially you're getting him really for 1 year. I
Oh
mean,
yeah, maybe, probably two, but yeah,
well, you probably have to commit to him for 2 years, but you're getting him counting on him for 1 year, really.
right. You all do know that Gainwell was a great pass catching and dual back in college. Yes, he
Sure.
was used in uh, many different ways, but hasn't been used that way in the NFL. You're right. You're right. But again, you can only go with what he's shown on the field. And I just, again, I
I think
don't.
some of the problem with Kenny Gainwell has been, and I think he's improved in this area, but being able to pick up the blitzes.
Hmm. Josh chimes in. What's up, Josh? Thoughts on drafting line and trading 30 for Henry if he restructures? I wouldn't trade 30 for Henry.
No.
I think there's a couple of the rumors that were out there. I think said something like trading the second round pick this year, 62, and a future third. I think I'd probably be okay with that. I heard there was like somebody. There was a rumor out there as well doing a swap of first round picks and then maybe like throwing like a future fourth. I don't know why Tennessee would do that. Like
Yeah. You're
Tennessee
moving up one
right
spot. Yeah.
Tennessee picks right after us, unless they are like dreadfully fearing somebody trading up with us to get a quarterback that they want, or if that's what they're gonna, go for, I
Right.
guess. Then I could see it, but like I don't know, it just doesn't make
And I
much
can't
sense.
see that decision being made before draft night, before we're on the clock.
Right, exactly. That
Yeah.
that is definitely something that happens as the draft is going, as our pick is kind of coming up, for sure. So, yeah, I wouldn't trade 30 for Henry personally. Um, I think Boston Scott has been so underused. Agreed, he always is.
Uh,
He is a lot better
yeah.
than the Birds have used him. He needs to be used a lot more. He is great between the tackles for a small guy. He's a former power lifter. Yeah, unfortunately, I just don't see him getting any more usage than the Eagles have been giving him over the years.
Yeah, I think that what you've seen is about what you'll get. next year as well. Yeah,
Break him out during the Giants game, put him back on the shelf. You know,
yeah, and he is
but believe
he
me,
is automatic. Every Giants game, you bet on him to score a touchdown.
yeah, absolutely. But that being said, I really do like Boston Scott. I
Oh,
just
sure.
he's just not ever going to be a number one running back.
No.
I hear how he is
Yeah.
high on Carter from Army, but Tomlinson will work. Any tight ends sitting at 94. Yeah, let's get back to this mock. Thank
Yeah.
you, Dave.
Yeah.
We're almost done here. Yeah, listen, I like Tomlinson. He's a little small, but he certainly is nice. Carter, again, is somebody that I like, but his value has been fluctuating as this process is going. Um, and we did draft Tyree Wilson at number 10. So the need for another edge isn't really there. Not saying that I wouldn't go that route because I totally would. Uh,
Hmm.
but let's just see Jordan Battle. Oh, Jamie Robinson. I like him too. Just want to make sure I'm not like forgetting. I do like Dorian Williams, but this might like there's better value, better value. Eli Ricks I like too. Voorhees I like. Pace I like. Yeah, Jordan Reed or Jaden Reed. I'm sorry. Chris Smith I really like, but I am actually gonna go with the safety, and I'm gonna take Jordan Battle.
I've been a
I
big fan of his this entire
like,
process.
yeah,
Yeah.
I like him slightly over Robinson from Florida State. I think here I'm surprised to see he hasn't gotten off the board. I also do like Anthony Johnson Jr. from Iowa State. I just kind of prefer Jordan Battle. That's just me. But don't get me wrong, Andre Carter would be a really nice pick. Um, Tomlinson again would be a nice pick. I just Tomlinson screams like Nate McMillan just because he's so
Right.
tiny and not that I think he couldn't be very good in the NFL. Um, I just again I just feel like and don't forget we also signed Greedy Williams, so we have a lot of corners now that are like better than your schlub guys whose names we don't want to pronounce because we're never going to hear from them again in the cornerback room. So I feel like we have four pretty solid corners right now. Yes, we're always looking for the future. So I wouldn't necessarily be shocked if we grabbed one early in this draft. Um, like I would love somebody like a Ringo and maybe in the trading back and from the 30th pick and grabbing them, or maybe at the 30th pick. I don't necessarily think that would be the worst. See, and look, Andre Carter is still there on the board at 109. Aren't you glad I didn't grab him? Let me just, yeah, what's my other picks here? 120. I'm not gonna lie. I think I might grab Eli Ricks if he's there at 120. But I'll go Carter here. Oh no, I did not mean to do that. Let me maybe Jalen Jones. Jeez, there's a bunch of good people here. And if I didn't already grab a safety, had I grabbed somebody else, Johnson probably would have been the pick there. But I'll go Andre Carter at 109. I think that's personally a steal. I think he's a little bit raw. Probably needs some good coaching up. But again, you have somebody like Brandon Graham, Josh Sweat. I know people might laugh, but you technically have Derek Barnett coming back.
Hmm.
Who again, if he's done, causing all these penalties, maybe
It's always him.
as always him. All right, let's run this 120. Damn, Johnson's still there. It's like they want me to pick him.
They really do.
Um, yeah, I'm. Oh man, I am debating here. No, I said I was going to take Eli Ricks, and I think I will. Although Ivan Pace, I like him as well. I like Voorhees as well. I think having guard depth, considering most likely scenario is Jurgens playing right guard this year,
Mhm.
playing center next year. We still got to figure out right guard. Um, Actually, I may have just convinced myself to take Voorhees. I did. Yeah, I'm going to take Voorhees.
All right.
I feel like we are really set up ourselves for this year in corner. I still think it's something we need to look forward in the future, but that's where I'm going. So there's my mock draft. Took way too long. Sorry, guys.
Yeah,
Well,
and if you don't mind, we don't have to even to do mine since I can't even really see the.
wow, this is coming up. This is why this is being all weird. All right, so I took Tyree Wilson at 10. I took. I traded back to twice to what 38? No, 30.
We
Yeah, I think
traded first to 32, right, and then down to
right, and then
38.
32 to 38. Got Day One Jones tackle from Ohio State. Yeah, why is this being weird? This is usually not like yeah, this is okay. I don't know why this is being like not giving me like the proper grades here. Anyway, let's see if I can actually get a good grade out of here. I don't think it's gonna let me. This is being really weird. All right, well, whatever. And I can't even remember who I like grabbed. Ugh, why is this being stupid? Uh, okay, well, what? All right, whatever. This is dumb. So whatever. If you guys were watching, you saw who I was taking. So, but I grabbed an edge in Wilson. I grabbed a tackle in Dawan Jones. Grabbed Charbonnet there in the second. I grabbed Jordan Battle, safety. I grabbed Voorhees, the guard. Um, did I end up? No, I didn't end up getting a wide receiver or a tight end, which I would have loved to. I think that was it for the 4 rounds. So Greedy going to be pushed back to safety. Certainly possibility. He does have, you know, he does have playing time back there, but we did
Yeah,
definitely a couple of safeties here to kind of help that room with the loss of Gardner Johnson and Epps. So the whole safety room is going to look totally new. Um, yeah, so there you have it. There's kind of one last mock draft. Um, yeah, listen, Thursday night, a couple days away. I can't wait. Please make sure that you tune in to Philly Sports Alliance and Edge of Philly Sports as there's going to be live draft coverage all throughout. It's pretty sure at least Thursday and Friday, um, potentially Saturday. I'm not sure if anybody else still be conscious by then.
yeah,
But yeah, it'll be a fun time. So please make sure if you're not already following Philly Sports Alliance, please make sure you do. Definitely make sure you follow us on Twitter at Philly Sports PSA and Facebook. That way you can put on your automatic notifications so that whenever we go live, whether it's a Philly Sports Alliance show or an Edge of Philly Sports show, you know immediately when it's going live and you can hop right in and join the fun. Also, want to make sure I give a shout out to La Terrain Watches. Head on over to www.la-terrain.com for all of your watch needs. These guys are great. I have a couple other watches, a pair of sunglasses from them. Really cool company. If you're looking for like, you know, not expensive watches, but watches that look really nice and look expensive, it's like a perfect place for it. They have all different types of bands and all different styles, colors, stuff like that. So www.la-touraine, TOURAINE.com. They are our main sponsor, so head on over, check them out. Use code PSA when you're checking out. You'll get a discount off of your total purchase. So check that out. And of course, as I mentioned, Edge of Philly Sports, we are sharing. They share our Facebook. They, also share. We share their YouTube. So we have a nice little partnership where both kind of networks are sharing. So please make sure that you subscribe to them, subscribe to us, show them love, and show us love, and vice versa, and tell your friends. And then lastly, Six Pack coverage. They are a national sports media group. They are just doing amazing things based out in Tennessee. In fact, their main flagship show features the head of Six Pack and former Tennessee Volunteer, former Tennessee Titan, former Washington Redskin, Albert Hainsworth. They do a Tennessee Volunteers podcast. It's pretty cool down there. But they also have this like crazy like network set up for colleges. So like any major college, they have like a team, and it's insane. Just like the network they're building. So check them out. You can check us out on there. Also, our sister station is on there. So we're doing a lot of Philly stuff for the Tennessee based place. So check them out. Yeah, CEV Sports is with us. So sixpackcoverage.com. And then lastly, I'm just going to mention Philly sports trips because I love them. They're awesome. That we've been on many of their trips. They put on one freaking hell of a party. As soon as the schedule comes out, which is probably in like maybe a month, maybe less, hopefully. That's when they kind of do.
Yeah. And I just gotta say, I just want to petition the NFL here. Could you just come out with a day and just say this is the day the schedule come out? Like, can we have more than 3 days worth of notice?
Yeah, and then leaks of
Yeah.
leading up to that. Yeah, no, I agree. They should really make it an event. But yeah, once they announce the Eagles schedule, that's when they go to work, finalize everything, set up all the trips for all the away games. It's going to be awesome. I'm looking forward to maybe Tampa. Probably going to go back to DC. If I don't do DC, I'll probably go up to New York.
Yeah, at
Uh,
least for one of those trips, especially
one of
now
those-
with Aaron Rodgers going there.
they put on such an amazing party.
Yeah.
So yeah, we were lucky enough to kind of be involved with them slightly, and I'd love to do more stuff with Vince and the guys. So yeah, we're not like an official sponsor or anything like that. We just love them so much. So head on over to
We should kind of have
phillysportstrips.com.
one of those guys on.
Yeah, no, I've been trying to get Vince on, but he's like he just had a baby, and obviously Eagles season was kind of in full swing. But yeah, great party, great, amazing tailgate. Highly recommend them. So, and they do Phillies and Sixers and stuff like that. So check
Yeah,
them
I know
out.
they did something with the Masters.
They did something with the Masters. They're doing
Yeah.
something. They did some. I think they went up to Brooklyn for the
Mhm.
Sixers. They'll probably do something with Boston. So head on over there. Tell them Philly Sports Alliance sent you, man. Try to help us get in with them, man, because
Yeah, help facilitate a relationship.
we would love to go to every Eagles away game with them. For sure.
We could
So,
be the official podcast of the Philly Sports Trip.
well, there's a lot of people associated, so I don't know about the official podcast, but
Okay, the unofficial podcast.
sure. Well, we kind of are.
Yeah, we kind of really are already.
We talk about it all the time. But anyway, I also want to thank everybody commenting today. Absolutely love it. All the from
Yeah, thanks for checking in, everybody who wants to party
you,
with us.
Josh,
Yeah.
Dave, of course, Anthony. Anthony, haven't heard from you in a while, buddy. Good to hear from you, pal. Steve from earlier, Quentin. I love weed, even though you're a stinking Cowboys fan. We always do appreciate you.
If you do a draft week, I hope all your drafts are bust. That's
Yeah,
why I love weed.
you draft the worst players ever. But yeah, RW and Steve and anybody else, honestly, though, if anybody ever would love to get involved, whether it be, doing your own thing, your own podcast, whether it be popping in, kind of hanging out with us every once in a while or whatever, please send me a message, whether you send it to me on Facebook, whether you send it to me up here at Philly Sports PSA on Twitter, or the official Facebook page of the Philly Sports Alliance. Please don't hesitate to reach out. We'll gladly kind of show you the ropes, teach you how we do all this. Not that we're great at it, but we can at least kind of do it. Um,
We
so
do.
yeah, we do some stuff. But yeah, well, definitely enjoyed talking to you. And like I said, RW, definitely reach out. And of course, Steve, I will definitely get back to you as well. So that's it for us. It's draft week. I'm sure we'll be popping in throughout the week up until the draft. In fact, Birds of the Round Table, I think it's switching to Wednesday this week just because of scheduling and all that. So we're going to be doing a lot of exciting stuff on Wednesday nights. So tune in right here at Philly Sports Alliance for the Birds of the Round Table Wednesday at 8 o'clock. Philly broadcast will most likely be on tomorrow. And then, of course, some of the other shows throughout the Philly Sports Alliance and Edge of Philly Sports coming to you on Facebook as well. So please please follow, please subscribe, head on over to our YouTube. That would really be great. We do appreciate that to subscribe there as well. So thank you all the love and support. Appreciate the IAC and Wayne for having us this past weekend. And also coming up, the Pittman Craft Fair is coming back May 20th, Saturday, and your boys will be there doing a nice little podcast outside of Lenny and Susie's Sports Memorabilia Saturday, May 20th. So if you're in the Pittman, New Jersey area, or you just love craft fairs, come on down. Head on over to Lenny and Susie's. They have awesome jerseys and other memorabilia and stuff like that.
Jersey for jerseys.
You go to Jersey for jerseys. So we'll give you more information as we get it on that. I'm still with you guys when I have the time. Oh, I know, Anthony.
Appreciate it, Anthony.
Yeah, you've been watching for a long time, man. We appreciate that. Always do. Always do. So, all right, guys. Hey, draft week. Let's hope it goes well for the Birds. And and Howie we trust, man. Let's hope he gets it done and pulls off some magic. All right. So that's it for us. Eric, you got anything to add before we pop on out of here?
Nah.
All right. Well, for the Football Smack Talk show, I am your host, Ryan.
I'm Eric. Happy football, everybody. Only 136 days to go.
And now that's till opening night or the Birds?
Opening night.
Opening night. Well, yeah, I guess we theoretically don't know.
Right. Yeah.
136 days, so we can do that. We can do that.
Yeah. We got this.
So, all right. Word up. All right. Well, everybody have yourself a great night. We will talk to you guys next week where we'll break down all the draft picks that Howie makes over Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. So have a great week. Continue to watch all the other Philly Sports Alliance and Edge of Philly Sports shows throughout. And we'll see you on Wednesday on the Birds of the Round Table. Have a great night, everybody. Go Birds.